Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 1 of the Sports and Tours podcast. In this episode, we are going to be talking exclusively about the NHL Trade Deadline. So we're jumping straight into some names here. First name that I think, at least for me, is a big one, Mr. Claude Giroux. I'm a Flyers fan who, for those who don't know, probably don't know. Any thoughts, anyone, on Mr. Claude Giroux? I know I have mine, but I'll save mine for the end of the conversation.
Well, isn't he going to get himself shipped out to Colorado for a
That's
first
what he
rounder?
wants to do.
How about a first rounder for him?
Do they have a first rounder?
They have a first rounder in 2023.
Okay.
They have. I don't think they have a pick this year until the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah. I was gonna say, but I don't know. A lot.
Colorado's. Yeah, the Colorado's absolutely shipping out that first round pick in 23.
Yeah,
100%.
I think looking at it from a Flyers fan perspective, unfortunately, the teams that are linked to him is, from what I've heard, Colorado, smidge bit of Boston, Florida, and like a St. Louis. That's kind of what I've seen. Obviously, all those teams are really good. I want him to go to Colorado. It's an interesting team. You're playing with a top 3, top 5 player in the league. The other guys there aren't too shabby either. So I know I want him gone, not because of him. It's not his fault. But he's put in so many hours and so many games into this team, and nothing's happened besides a cup run in 2010. Thank you, Patrick Kane. But I want him gone. Whatever team he wants to go to, that's the team we ship him to. I don't care.
There's 3 teams linked. It's Colorado, St. Louis, and Minnesota. He wants to play in the Midwest somewhere. Those are 3 teams that could win it.
What do you think the return is going to be like, though?
Well,
I don't think they're gonna. It's going to be tough to get a lot for him.
Because he's done after this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
How old is
he?
He's 34.
And also,
he's
34.
he is done, and also
He He wants to be
go to a
done
team
after
like-
this season.
No,
Maybe
this
there was a
end of his
free agent.
contract.
His contract. And if you look at what team he's going to go to, where's he going to play in Colorado's lineup? 3rd line?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. He
not
can't be
playing
a
for Kadri.
first liner out
He's
there.
not playing in McKinnon's line. He's either got to play wing or he's going to be a 3rd liner. They're not going to give up
he
much
can
more for him.
play wing. He can play wing.
But
There's
you
no-
gotta think the guy. He'd
There's no-
probably be down to play 3rd line at this point.
And
for Cup.
and if you look at Colorado's lineup, their wingers are huge.
That's big wingers. I mean,
Like,
you got first line. I have
Nichushkin,
Cole. Oh, absolutely.
Rantanen, and Landeskog. Trying to think who else. But
You got Burakovsky on that first line.
Burakovsky too, and he's big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Berkey, baby.
That's 4 big wingers right there.
Yeah, I mean, he's not replacing, obviously not McKinnon. He's not replacing Kadri, not this year at least. So I mean, the 3rd line right now is Logan O'Connor, Alex Newhook, and then JT Compher. He can jump on that line. I think him and Newhook's actually a good combination there.
Yeah. I was gonna he might just play wing because they probably don't want to block Newhook's development.
No, not at all.
No,
He'll
Newhook's
be
very underrated too.
Yeah.
That's who the Flyers actually want in the trade is Newhook.
Yeah,
Which I don't think
they're
they're.
not getting Newhook.
I know they're not, but that's who they want.
I would rather.
I've seen him
keep,
wanting
I would rather
Newhook and
keep.
Byram.
I'd rather keep my roster than give up Newhook, not add anybody at all, than give him that.
Yeah,
That's fair. I mean, because they don't really need Giroux. Be nice to have him,
No.
but they don't need him.
Yeah.
All right, now imagine Giroux in St. Louis. Where does he fit in that lineup?
Ooh, St. Louis. Let's see.
Probably.
Could he be a first liner
probably
up there?
just probably second line somewhere.
I'd have to.
He can't be a first liner. You're not playing over O'Reilly if that's who you consider your first.
Yeah, I don't
line
think
center.
he was gonna play first line center anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, your first
Minnesota, he could technically. I mean, not looking at it, be. I guess you could say the best center, but chemistry-wise, he cannot touch that first line there.
Yeah.
About St. Louis or Minnesota?
Minnesota. He is nowhere near.
Can he be a first liner on any of these teams, do you think?
I think he could slot in maybe on St. Louis, maybe. I mean, the first line right now, at least
center though.
Well, they've been shuffling O'Reilly out of the first line this season.
O'Reilly's one of the best 2-way forwards in the game in the playoffs, and you're going to keep him at center over Giroux.
Absolutely.
That's fair.
I mean, your second line center is Robert Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he slides in there. I mean, the team's so good. You have Jordan Kyrou in the third line. I mean, it's a good team.
Yeah.
First line is Perron, Saad, and O'Reilly. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Giroux's a better player than probably a Perron, maybe a Saad at this point.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think
He
with the
ain't better
chemistry
than
they have,
Kyrou.
no. Well, depends on where you're looking, but no, I don't necessarily disagree with you.
I thought Minnesota was really interesting because I don't know. I just don't see them as one of those premier teams for the cup, even with Giroux.
They're
In Minnesota
sneaky.
as of right now.
They're
Yeah,
sneaky.
they're a weird team.
Yeah.
They score bunches. They score one.
yeah.
They're probably going to get 3 that period.
Their
Well, then,
lineup
I mean,
isn't
who do
anything crazy, too.
They're going to ask for like a Matt Boldy or like a Marco Rossi or something from them.
I think they could ask for Rossi over Boldy first. That would be.
Yeah,
They're not
Boldy's
giving
been
up Boldy.
ridiculous.
Boldy's been way better than what they were thinking right away.
Well, frankly, the Flyers are going to trade Giroux if he wants to get traded, and teams know that. So, I mean, if you're a team like an
He does
Avalanche,
have a no
or-
trade. Doesn't he have a no movement?
Yeah,
clause
yeah,
with
but
him?
the problem is though.
Yeah,
teams
but-
know if he wants traded, they're not going to have to give up too much because he wants traded.
Nope, I don't know.
All right
I
on.
don't know.
And then with the no movement clause, he gets to control where he goes.
Yeah,
And he's
he
got
can
like a
veto
5-team
anything.
list, or like
Wow.
5 or 10. All 3 of the teams we talked about are on the list.
Yeah,
too.
he has to okay any trade.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Good for him.
All right, next name that I think is interesting. Harris, you'll like this one. Mr. Phil the Thrill Kessel, out of the Arizona Coyotes. Teams linked I have back to Pittsburgh, Boston, and Minnesota are the teams that I have him linked to. What do we think?
Who was Pittsburgh, Boston? You said
Pittsburgh, Boston, and Minnesota is what I
he
have.
doesn't fit. Boston needs grit in their lineup. They have no tough guy right now, at all. Brandon Carlo's the guy to be their tough guy right now, and he needs to play more shutdown role. He can't take penalties in playoffs.
What's Frederick? Is he in the lineup?
Trent Frederick, yeah, when they keep him in the lineup,
Yeah,
he's starting
yeah,
to play third
he's
line
pretty
minutes,
much it.
which is better. Yeah. I don't think Pittsburgh can afford him unless they ship out Kapanen. Maybe they do that, but it's got to go through.
As a
Malkin
Penguins
first.
fan, do you want Kapanen gone?
I don't really care either way.
Because I saw yesterday that like they're looking around for things like him, or for looking around for different locations for him. So I don't know.
Has Phil been having an all right season here in Arizona?
I mean, as all right as you can have for Arizona.
I mean, he's 34. I mean, he's getting up there, making 6.8,
Mm-hmm.
and so
I think it's the last year on his deal too.
Well, what kind of moves is Arizona going to be making here at the deadline this year?
There's
Final
not much
contract.
more they can really do.
Yeah, who do
Chikrin's
they-
the only other one.
Is it just a repeat of what they've been doing the past?
Yeah, literally, they're in a
Wow.
terrible spot. I think.
That's a shame.
They were
Especially,
asking
I mean-
for Chikrin, they were asking for just pretty much an entire franchise for him.
Yeah, like, I'm sure the Maple Leafs would have gave them everything for Chikrin if they didn't ask for so much.
Yeah,
an odd team. Such a weird team.
We got to
They're
get
taking
into
on
them
so
in
many.
depth one of these days.
Absolutely. No, I think absolutely. We'll talk about the Arizona Coyotes here. Don't you worry. All right, let's see. Next name, Harris. I know you'll like this one here as well. Mr. J.T. Miller, Vancouver Canucks. Teams linked. I've got the Rangers. I've got, again, the Avalanche. Seem to be busy here. And the Carolina Hurricanes. Interesting enough here.
I don't think he goes anywhere.
Okay.
Personally, I don't see them wanting to trade those points away. And last time I checked, they're still playoff eligible. They can definitely make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Canucks, they've been stringing together some wins.
yeah. Right now, they're only 3 points out of the second wild card right now,
Yeah.
behind Dallas.
And that's not exactly the most deep conference, really, compared to the Eastern Conference.
No, yeah,
He's got
1
1 year left on the deal as well. At let's see, 4.5. It looks like he'll be making
1 year
next
after
season.
this year, right?
Correct. 1 year.
Okay.
So a
That's what I
2022,
thought. I didn't
23
think he was
season.
free
Correct.
agent.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I just know you bring up the Rangers, and that's a team that, I mean, obviously they're way up there in the Metro, and but they need. I think they need some moves.
They have
I mean, the
Rangers have a
Caps are
ton of
only
money.
6 point back too.
Yeah,
of the
Yeah,
Rangers.
I
Rangers
mean-
have a ton of money to work with here. Too.
yeah, because they got a lot of young players like Kako and Lafreniere and Fox.
If they're really going for it, I'd move Kako.
Really,
I don't believe in him really anymore.
yeah, he has not really showed that. That
I wouldn't get
second
rid of
level.
Lafreniere yet, but Lafreniere's working his way towards that way too, though.
Yeah, I
Eventually, a
think
team looking
Lafreniere-
at
Been
he's
him.
picking it
definitely
up as of
making
late,
strides.
however.
Yeah,
He's a lot better than last year at least. But for them, I mean, they've been carried really by Shesterkin and the power play.
yeah.
Offense has been a
find-
joke lately.
Yeah, they need to find some
Yeah,
5-1-5.
it's gonna be a tough place to play in the playoffs when you have the crazy fans at MSG as well with Ryan Reeves. I mean,
Right.
it's gonna be a tough place to play, but
And then
overall with
Shesterkin
Jake-
in the playoffs, you know.
What about JT going back to New York for draft picks? Because New York has all their picks, I think.
I just
Would that be
don't
something
see him- I
Vancouver?
don't see him getting moved at all.
No.
I see them moving Brock Besser before they move Miller.
There have been rumors about Besser for
Yeah,
3 years now.
but I will tell you, if I was Colorado, I would trade for Miller before I trade for Giroux. Miller
think it
can
brings
play
more value?
He can play the wing or center, and he is big.
And he's
I mean, he's
younger.
only 6'1", but he's 2'8". He's 218.
Yeah.
And he
Colorado
plays.
is going to be strapped for cash though,
Yeah.
with like especially next year because I think is Landeskog a free agent?
No, Landeskog just signed, but I think
I know
they,
Burakovsky's a free agent.
they have a problem too coming up with if Bowen Byram comes back and
Yeah,
he starts
and
playing
then-
the way he was, he's going to ask for $6 million when his
And then
contract's up.
McKinnon in what, like 2 years?
McKinnon has one more year after this year.
Yeah. So after
What do you
that,
think he's
McKinnon-
making, Harris? On that
I think
contract?
he's a team
McKinnon.
guy. I think he's around 8 or 9.
Oh,
I think he knows it's not possible.
Yeah, because right now he's
I'm
making
telling you,
what, like 6?
Edmonton can't win with those contracts.
Oh yeah.
Toronto has the same problem. It's hard to win with those contracts.
because
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what-
for a lot of
I could
teams, they
really
look at
see-
yeah.
I could see McKinnon, just the guy, the type of dude he seems to be, taking a team friendly contract to build a dynasty.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
He's
they, I
best
mean,
friends
right
with
now,
Crosby.
I mean, in the standings, Avalanche are clear in the Western Conference. Nobody's
And
near
they've
them.
missed a lot of man games. They've
Yeah.
had injuries up and down the
Yeah.
lineup.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So
I
they-
didn't realize how bad it was. Yeah, they are clear.
Yeah, they're 12
They are
points
fine.
ahead.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I didn't know they were going crazy
Wow.
like that.
Jeez.
So, I mean, looking at like divisions, I just kind of have the standings pulled up here. So, I mean, your Central Division, Avalanche are a lock. Blues are a lock.
I'm
or
telling
more
you,
than
the
likely.
last place is going to be a battle, I think, between Dallas, Edmonton, and the Canucks to get in that playoff spot.
It's a good
I-
division.
Yeah, I don't see the Ducks holding on for too much longer. The young kids might have some trouble when the experience starts coming in for the playoff push.
Yeah.
And then-
On the other hand, I don't even think Anaheim doesn't even really need to. Like half the
Well, they're not
lineup
going to
is
trade for anything.
22 or
They'll
younger.
if the Ducks get in, they'll get in just purely off their roster. I don't think they make a move to try to get that much better.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the Canucks can still though get in for sure. They have a great lineup when they're playing.
I mean, in
Brucey
that
behind the
division,
bench.
yeah.
And I
And
think the East, is just about locked in. I don't think we're going to really see any movement in the East.
Unless the Caps keep it up, what they're doing, man.
No, I
Yeah.
think you're right though. I think it's going to be those 8 teams, and then anything can happen between those 8 teams though.
Oh yeah, but I think like who's in right now is probably going to end up somewhere in the middle, somewhere. in
There's a 5-game differential between Washington and Columbus.
Is that right?
Yeah, yep.
That's
10
good news
points.
for us, huh?
10 points, but I think Columbus has 1 game in hand, but that's it.
I have a name for you guys to talk about here. Patrick Hornqvist.
Ooh.
Because do you think he's a guy that could be moved out of Florida?
I think it depends on what they.
Our analysts have gone here.
I think it depends. I'll step in here. I think it depends really on what they get for him. I mean, if you're Florida, you're pretty confident in your roster. But let me look at.
He ain't going anywhere.
I don't
He ain't
think
going
yeah.
anywhere. I watched them play once live. He is one of the heart and souls of that team for sure. He's
Yeah.
not going
Last
anywhere.
year, I just know from last year in the playoffs, he was just a
Yeah.
really solid contributor.
Yeah.
Just
And
throughout
I'll
the
tell you,
playoffs.
he's a locker room guy too. That'd be a terrible guy to move out.
Yeah,
fair.
I don't.
Maybe
Maybe
looking at
that's an
that team. I
off-season
mean,
move.
yeah, looking at that team. I mean, they're.
They're
It's
stacked.
not. It's
They're
not like a
loaded.
team on paper that's like unreal, but I mean that's just.
I don't know.
Barkov's
I mean,
top
even
three.
on paper-
Barkov's a top 3 two-way center in the league too.
Oh, easily.
Really. And then I mean, isn't Huberto's up there? Does he lead the league in points?
I think he does. If not, he's like.
I think he's tied or right under. Let me see. He's
tied with McDavid.
tied with with more games though.
Okay.
Like I think I don't think he'll end up winning it, but still though, I
He
mean,
leads in assists by 10.
hey, I'll tell you though, if he comes in second or third in the Maple Leafs, or sorry, in the Oilers don't win or don't make the playoffs, Huberto deserves MVP. Oilers don't deserve to have an MVP if they don't make the playoffs.
I think Shesterkin might get the heart if he keeps it. If he keeps it up, he has to be in serious consideration.
Yeah, totally. He is the most
When
fucking
was the
valuable
last
player
goalie
in
to
that
win the
damn
Hart?
team. So
I can't even think of it.
Carey Price, I think.
Ah,
Yeah, I think it was
Price
Price
did
in
it.
what 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, something around there. But, yeah, it was Price.
I think when they made that run until he got hurt by Kreider. All right, who's next on the list?
I have a name that's been moved around a lot as of late here. I believe he's been on, I want to say 3 different teams in his pretty young NHL career. Could be wrong on that. We've got a Max Domi out of Columbus. I got one team linked to him. It is the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know Harris, you probably have a good opinion on that. What do you think on
I don't
on
see
Domi to the
why
Leafs?
I don't see why they need him. I don't like. Where's he going to play?
Because
What
I
are
mean,
you going to
he's
give
your.
up? What are you going to give up for him?
I don't know. You're looking at their lineup. He's not going on obviously the first 2 lines. You've got guys like a Nick Robertson who's playing on your 4th line. You got a Wayne Simmons, Jason Spezza. Those guys aren't going anywhere probably. If anywhere, I mean, maybe he slots in that 3rd line. You've got Mikheyev, you've got Camp, already said, and you've got Kerfoot. But I mean, that line, it's a good line too. I mean,
I don't see the reason to get rid of a piece for him.
like, who do you get rid of? I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're literally bringing in the same player to trade away
Yeah.
someone. I just don't see either.
because I wouldn't say he's better than any of those 3rd line guys, Kerfoot, Comp, and Mikheyev. Maybe Mikheyev, but I don't know.
Well, he's
No,
a
he's definitely not better than Mikheyev. But I can tell you, he could be as good as Camp or Comp, whatever you want to say. But I don't know if he can PK like him.
That's true. Mikheyev having a good year.
Yeah, Mikheyev's unreal. He just doesn't get as much ice time. It's tough to play when you're under Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, and Marner.
That's a fair point. Fair point. So we're saying no to Domi.
Well, from the Blue Jackets perspective, what kind of direction are they going there? Do they want to acquire assets or kind of like draft capital here? Are they in a rebuild kind of situation, or?
I think they're too far out of
those.
They're too far out. Yeah, they're too
Yeah,
far
they
out.
have to be trying to
The Blue
sell.
Jackets?
Blue Jackets. Yeah.
What if Line is a guy that they
Ooh.
want to
Oh,
get rid
Line's
of?
been having a great year.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't see.
Well, right, but that could get him.
Yeah, but
Good
it's
amount
tough.
in
He's got
return.
so many years left on his contract. That's a lot of money
Oh,
he
does
eats
he?
for many years.
Yeah, he's young and controllable. So
Yeah, that's fair.
And he likes the new coach, I think.
He hasn't liked many coaches in his career so far, so we'll take that.
There are a lot of
All
players
right.
are too soft for Tortorella, though.
That's who I think the Flyers need to bring in on a little bit of an off tangent here. I think he needs to come in and take him down. But that's for a different conversation there. All right, let's we got our first goalie name here.
Sure.
Big name. We've got Marc-Andre Fleury. Rumblings I know the Caps tried to trade for him. Correct me if I'm wrong to my Caps fans here. I believe they tried to trade for him or at least showed a heavy interest. He said no.
Doesn't
My
want to come to
understanding.
DC.
Doesn't want to come to DC, which, I mean, I get it. I mean, he's played a that makes
I
sense.
don't
Same reason
blame
why
him.
Giroux wouldn't go to Pittsburgh or something
Yeah.
like that. But you've got Colorado as the other team linked to him. I think that's an interesting one. Do we think Fleury's going anywhere? I mean, he's
You can't
The
go
only
to
place
Colorado.
I see him going anywhere, only place I see him going is Edmonton, and they have to find some salary for him.
another name on the list I have is Koskinen from the Oilers goalie.
Yeah, but I understand. But like with Edmonton getting rid of someone, how many pieces can they get rid of? They don't have much depth scoring anyway.
They have
Practically,
no
McDavid and
depth.
Draisaitl will do it all.
And it's not like they can give up defense either. They barely have any of that.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I think Bouchard's their best defenseman over Nurse. I think Nurse gets paid too much personally, but he only gets paid too much because of how much McDavid and Draisaitl already make. If they made less, then Nurse's contract would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what do you give up Koskinen, but then why would the Hawks want Koskinen? Like,
Yeah, I don't. If he
Yeah.
only had 1 year left, then yeah, you eat his contract for the rest of the year and get rid of him and take a
Yeah, he's
first
on his
round
final
pick
year.
with it. Okay, so maybe they take a first round in Koskinen just to end the year with.
yeah,
So I think out of this conversation we've had, the teams that sound screwed are the Coyotes and the Oilers. It's kind of what we've heard from this. Oilers got a lot of problems.
What about Chicago? What direction is
They're
Chicago going?
not screwed. I think. I'm telling you, they can. I still think they can make a playoff run in the next year or two
really.
with Kane. I think they can.
Well, it seems
If
like
they
they took
get-
a step back this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
they're
what
not.
I think everybody was thinking they were going to compete for playoffs this year
Right.
with Fleury and the
Yeah.
Jones brothers on the D end.
Yep.
And Gustafson plays well there too. I know he didn't play well in Philly, but plays well for Chicago.
Crowd who's even on the team. All right. Let's see here.
There's the one name I've heard. I haven't seen a lot lately. I just one report a little while ago. Philip Forsberg.
Oh, yeah, that's a big
Oh
one.
boy. Yeah.
Fit.
Yeah, that's-
so
that's-
what do we think?
I understand giving him up because of his contract. He doesn't resign. But are you also saying that you're not making a run for the cup this year? Nashville's not a bad team. They're pretty good.
They're a really solid team. That's why I mean
They're
when I
heavy
saw
to
that-
play against.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
very
if you-
heavy.
Like if you asked me, over the summer, I was like for sure, like they gotta ship them out and move them. But now, I mean, they're in the first wild card spot. There's no reason to sell. So I don't know. I mean, it's difficult because you already got Duchesne and Johansson who make $8 million. Are you gonna give another guy in like $8 to $9 million?
Bring him back to DC, huh?
I mean, yeah. I mean, could they even afford?
Where do you find this money, Fitch?
Martin Erat's going to come out of the depths, and we're giving him back. Is what we're doing.
Yeah, right.
What was the other? Was it Erat and somebody else? Or just
We got
Yeah, Lada.
Oh my, what a good
Big
trade!
boy
out.
Lada.
the
Very
only
nice.
place to find
Well,
the
didn't
money.
what's his name just got brought back up, right? Kepney?
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he just
been
get brought
back here
back?
for a little bit.
yeah. He slots in for. He's like the seventh defenseman.
Boy,
because
does he
of injuries.
suck.
Yeah. Hey, not as bad as TVR. though.
Not as bad as TVR. You're exactly right.
But the
Goodness,
only
man.
thing I could see, I mean, on just like somehow, some way, like a 0.1% chance for Forsberg is Mantha. But
Ooh.
Mantha in pieces though, because Mantha's not going to get it.
And we
I mean,
already
he's-
gave up all our pieces to get Mantha.
I mean, he's locked up though, which gives him like the edge over Forsberg. But I think he's got like 3 or 4 years left,
Mhm.
and then however a couple months of Forsberg, they might see that and value it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd love for to get Forsberg and ship Mantha out.
He's stellar.
But
What about
not even more
Ooh.
money?
what about an Oshie?
Oh, you trade Oshie?
Oh, she's not going anywhere.
He's a good playoff player.
No.
Yeah,
Oshie
he's clutch.
Oshie is a fan favorite. I don't
Yeah.
no way
Yeah.
he's moved.
How much is Oshie making?
Like 6.
Oh, he's worth 6. Well,
Well,
He's
he's
worth
worth
6 in
6
this game.
now, but he's also locked
He's
up
worth
for like 3 or
6 if
4
he
more
can
years.
stay on the ice.
Yeah,
how long does he have on the contract, Chris?
like I think he's until he's 38. I want to say.
Oh my, well he's not. Oh, geez.
So yeah, he's still got a long term deal, but
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, there's right now I cannot see a world where Oshie's moved.
One guy from the
That's-
Caps
that's
that
a
could
hard
be that maybe should be moved or at least thought about is Schultz on the back end.
I can see. Yeah, I mean he's expiring too. He's a free agent.
And he's eating up $4 million.
Yeah, he's a free agent right now, or he's going to be a free agent. So I don't really know how much value he's going to have.
Good playoff player. Good playoff player.
Schultz. Not after last year with
And you can
Samsonov.
shake your head, but I mean, he got 2 cups in Pittsburgh playing that way.
That's one.
And was the main defenseman the 1 year Letang was hurt.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it'll be in because he's getting up there too. He's
He's a couple years older now, yeah.
he's in his 30s. I think if we're talking Caps, biggest thing is goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, it's not. It's
about-
definitely not a deep playoff run caliber.
How about a 3-way trade?
Ooh.
Fleury to Colorado, Kemper to DC, Samsonov to Chicago.
I mean,
I
yeah.
don't. I mean, with a few.
I mean, there's going to
extra-
be other things attached, of course.
obviously a few
Yeah.
pieces added in here.
Fleury's
and
the
there,
best goalie out of all that. And then the worst goalie out of all that, Samsonov.
But he's
100%.
also the young. I mean, he's the youngest.
Yeah.
He's like
Kemper's
24.
not old, though. Kemper's going to be good for years.
How old is Kemper?
I think he's late 20s.
Yeah, he's
Early
late
30s.
20s.
Oh, he's
And goalies can go till about their 39.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kemper's getting ready for his prime.
Yeah, he
But
really
yeah,
is.
I mean, if you're talking those 3, like they all have like their own value. But
Boy,
I mean,
would
that'd
love
be
to have
interesting.
Kemper in DC.
I mean, as a Caps, if I was Brian McClellan, I instantly
Yeah.
accept that. Yeah,
yeah, right on.
and then keep Vanacek around too.
Hell yeah,
Backup.
hell yeah.
Weren't you guys thinking? I saw a report, and it may not have been correct, but I saw that VTech was a guy that was being shopped around. I don't know if there was any.
I've
truth to
seen
that,
both
but-
of them being shopped around. I've heard Samsonov they're open to trading both of them, or I mean, probably one or the other.
All right, let's get a new core in there. Get them both out of here. You know, just switch things up a little
Yeah,
bit. Switch things up a little bit.
neither
well,
of
let's-
them are really looking like long-term starting options.
Yeah, we'll take Ficali for the rest of the season if we need to.
Because Samsonov was your guy. Like he was the guy who you guys thought was going to be your long-term goalie, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Right?
It's supposed to be.
And he's had how many years to prove himself? And there's still a question if he's the number one.
I mean, he's had
The
two
goalies
COVID
do take the
seasons.
longest to develop out of any.
Well, how
position
old
in
is
hockey,
Sammy?
so.
How old is Sammy? He's
Like
got to be
24,
mid-20s.
25.
Yeah,
But that's young for. I mean, look at Jack Campbell.
right.
Dude was a career backup, and then he hits 30, and
Samsonov is 25.
he wants to compete for a Vezina. So
Yeah.
anything could happen. But yeah, I mean, Samson. He's had the backup season of Holtby, which was the COVID shortened. He's had 2 COVID shortened years, and then this year. So door's still open, I guess.
Maybe time for a goalie
Yeah.
change here in the District of Columbia. All right. Well, maybe to end things out, we've kind of talked about mainly guys who will add more to teams than more of a change of scenery, going to a playoff teams, etc. I've got 2 names maybe to round things off here. Both guys who may have seen a change of scenery are unhappy with playing time, etc. So we've got from the Bruins, we've got Jake DeBrusk, who was shopped around a lot last year, and also is being shopped around this year. Teams interested. You've got Arizona, you've got Seattle, you've got San Jose, you got Edmonton. So heading to the West Coast, it looks like, if anywhere. And then another name that's interesting that I see on here, who I thought was having a really good year, maybe he isn't, is one at Dylan Strome out of Chicago. Any thoughts on either one of these guys who may just need kind of a change of scenery opposed to anything else?
Hasn't DeBrusk been having a good year? He's been having like the best year of his career, I think.
He's having a good year. I know I think the problem with him more I mean, he's only making 2.5, so he's not going too crazy here. I think the problem with him, I don't know if he's a big fan of the ice time. I don't know if that's still the case. He requested a trade a few weeks ago, maybe. And I think the game after, I think he got two or three goals in the game following. But yeah, I know for him, it's more an ice time thing. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
still the case, but
he hasn't been great this year.
Oh, he hasn't.
But I mean, he has 20 points in like 40 something games.
Oof. Well, I guess he's blaming that more on ice time than anything else.
Yeah, he's probably on that third line.
Yeah. But he's not. He's obviously not cracking the first line. He's not cracking that second.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been in that bust territory, like those bust talks for 2 or 3 years. I've heard him getting traded a lot. I just don't know. I don't really see it as a trade deadline move. Probably. I mean, he's still depth scoring. Probably more of an off-season move if he's going to get out.
Do we think if Strome's on his way out too, do we think it's the same kind of in the offseason? Because maybe he goes to a playoff team and helping him, but he's still a younger guy, and the only team that's linked to him at the moment is the Ottawa Senators. So you think that's a kind of an offseason move, if anything, as well?
The thing, I could DeBrusque just because Boston is a contender, but Chicago, it could be either. I mean, they could ship him out at the deadline. Play, get some more prospect ice time, or just go for a better draft pick, whatever they want to do. So I could see him getting moved at the deadline.
Awesome. Any other names we're thinking of, gentlemen? We're kind of running low on time here. Any names you want to get in before we interrupt?
How much time we got left here?
We're getting close to 30 here, maybe a little bit over.
Okay, we can end it here for the week, or for the Monday here.
Easy enough. Perfect. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We will see you on Friday when we will be doing an episode on finance. We'll do
Finance
sports
Friday,
on Monday,
baby.
Finance Fridays, sports on Mondays, finance Fridays on Friday. We'll see you then.
Take care, fellas.